What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us on this special edition of the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, where we are talking about, in a spoilery way, Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. We just seen it a few hours ago. We've had some time to eat and relax and think about it a little bit more, and we are here now ready to talk about it as planned. And with me today is my friend and co-host, Lucas Farney. Lucas, what's going on, buddy?
Not a lot, man. Still reeling from that movie a little bit, still trying to process it, but just got my butt whooped a couple times in 2K, no less, so.
Yeah, that'll happen from time to time around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, so as the title of the description says, this is a open spoiler discussion about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So yeah, if you have not seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I suggest watching this some other time. With that being said, I'm going to go right into my thoughts about it. We did, both of us, me and Lucas did a out of theater review, straight out the theater review that has just been put up on the channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But yeah, so as predicted over a year ago, I was right all along that the funeral would be at the very beginning of the movie. And it is. In fact, the movie starts with T'Challa dying from some sort of sickness that Shuri is trying to remake like a synthetic version of the heart-shaped herb in order to keep T'Challa from dying. Obviously, she's unable to do that, and T'Challa dies. Interesting that some sort of disease kills him, and we don't get to know much more about that. I bet something else plays a role in that later, which could be interesting too. That we find out, someone gave him the disease or something like that.
Poisoned him.
Right, poisoned him, or something like that. But yeah, so we go on and we see a lot of grief from that point on. Then we see what I think is the most outstanding performance of the movie, which is Angela Bassett, right? She was amazing. You could really feel her emotion and her pain in every scene, especially moving forward from not only the funeral scene of T'Challa, but also the after Shuri gets abducted later on in the movie, she becomes even more kind of lost, and then yeah, we get to see Namor, and as a lot of people thought, Namor was actually first approaching Wakanda for help, and it may not have been in the right way or what what Wakanda would view as help, but more or less, in his view, for sure, he was reaching out a hand saying, hey, we're a nation that's trying to stay hidden, but because of you, people are kind of finding us now, and you kind of owe us this favor to help us find this scientist. And it's funny because I kept thinking, ooh, who's the scientist? It's Reed Richards. And then, of course, it's Riri Williams. What an idiot. What was I thinking? God. Anyways, and we find out it's Riri Williams. I can't remember the girl's name playing Riri Williams.
Dominique Thorne. Yes,
she's great. She plays a great Riri Williams. Has that very, modern feel that can connect to a lot of the younger audiences. And yeah, it just feels really cool. Which is always good for a younger character. She said she was 19 in the movie, so that's really cool. Usually younger characters are more like Miss Marvel's character, right? A little more.
They're for young
right.
Avengers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but this girl seemed very the opposite, and she seemed well put together. She seemed like she had a lot going on, and she had a Mach 1 Iron Man suit that we got to see. Probably the best line of the movie was when they were trying to break in on them, and one of the dudes like, "Holy shit, she got an Iron Man suit." That was one of the best lines of the movie. But
talking about the FBI guys.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so then things kind of turn south when basically Namor tells Shuri that he wants to attack, the land, the people of the land, and that he wants Wakanda to help him to do it. And of course, Shuri's like, hell no, that's crazy. And he comes and attacks Wakanda and kills her mother. And then it's from this point forward that I feel like the film is carried mostly by Leticia Wright's performance, because she really was amazing too, and you could tell really that she had that heaviness too, of that her whole family really was gone. And so M'Baku is peppered out throughout this. I haven't mentioned he's fucking great. He's probably my favorite part of the movie, to be honest with you. M'Baku's awesome. M'Baku's the guy that I even though he's not powered, I would take him protecting me any day, because I know he's gonna give his all. The standout to me in the movie overall as a character is Okoye. Don't fuck with Okoye, man.
Absolutely.
Okoye on that bridge scene in the beginning. I mean, I was in the theater like, yeah, dude, fuck it up.
All of it.
Yeah, she was killing it. She's a badass. And yeah, that was a lot of fun seeing her do all that stuff. But yeah, so then the long and the short of it is Shuri is able to recreate the synthetic heart-shaped herb through a bracelet that Namor gave her, where they kind of have their own little heart-shaped herb in a way. And so, yeah, and then she takes it, obviously, and she goes to the celestial plane where, we kept thinking maybe Chadwick Boseman somehow is a Panther or something. Yeah. But no, of course, the only guy that Ryan Coogler just can't keep out of his films, Michael B. Jordan, right? And we're always glad to see Michael B. Jordan, but Killmonger is there in the afterlife, and it's not the ancestral planes that we know, right? And the reason it's not the ancestral planes that we know is because the ancestral planes that we know is heaven. And the ancestral planes that he's in was literally fiery hell. Like, there was fire around them. I mean,
well, what was cool about that, because honestly, I didn't even put that together until you just said that. He was in the throne room of Wakanda, on the throne, but he was surrounded by water and fire, and it looked like he was in a prison.
Yeah, almost. For sure.
Yeah,
right. He was basically in his hell cell, right?
Yeah,
and she visits him there, and he kind of tells her, I love his line immediately. He's like, "What's up, cousin?" Love that. It's very Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan. So then, he tells her, she's like, "Why am I here to seeing you?" And he's like, "Because you're more like me, and you want what I want, and you want revenge. You want to avenge your family and stuff." And so she comes out, very changed immediately. She starts kind of freaking out.
Has Killmonger's spirit with her.
Yes, yeah. And freaking out kind of in Nakia's face, and she's very frantic. She moves into picking a Black Panther costume, and she walks past her father and her brother's Black Panther helmets and costumes to go to her cousins, right? And she takes on her cousin's black and gold Black Panther costume that's kind of upgraded a little bit and obviously more adapted to her and her style. It has her little Shuri blaster things on it too that she had in the first Black Panther movie. And she became a badass to me. I was in. I was all in. I was sold. I was thinking, you know what? She could be Black Panther for now on, and I think I'm cool. That's how good it was. And she was out for vengeance. I was excited for that. We got that. She sets up a plan. The plan works great. She gets Namor alone. She has the ability to kill Namor. And she's kind of fading in and out herself because she's been stabbed by Namor with a vibranium spear in her stomach. And as she's fading in and out, she sees her mom in the actual ancestral plane now, the one we know from the original Black Panther. And her mother's like, show him who you are. And Shuri decides, to not kill him because, that's who they are. That's who she is. Cool. Just like her brother, T'Challa. And so, very, very cool ending. Namor gets to walk away. He takes his people away. And there's a little, some little stuff in there with Ironheart getting to kind of show off her new little suit that she made in Wakanda, and and she kind of kicks ass too in that new suit. So, and that was a lot of fun too. I don't want to not talk enough about that, but yeah. Also the white dude, can't remember his name.
Ross.
Yeah,
Bilbo
right.
Baggins. Yeah.
Right. Super fun to see.
It's always great.
Probably the best part of the movie, the film for me, was in the very beginning of the movie, right in the scene that we're introduced to Namor. Angela Bassett and Leticia Wright's characters are together at the edge of a river, and she's trying to get her to burn these her funeral clothes, because if she does, then she'll like get a glimpse of her brother. Is what she said, and Angela Bassett tells Shuri that when I burned mine at your brother's funeral, because Shuri didn't, but the mom did, and she said, when I burned mine at the funeral, I seen him, and Shuri's like, you did not see her, or did not see him, and she's like, well, okay, I didn't really see him, I guess, but I felt him. He was there. He was like on my shoulder. And I was like, oh, wow, interesting. I think this is definitely going to lead into somehow we're going to see T'Challa in this movie. And so when we kept getting into those ancestral plane times, both of those times, when we got Killmonger, I thought T'Challa. Then when we got Angela Bassett, I thought T'Challa. So, yeah, I was real convinced that we were going to get T'Challa, and then at the very end of the movie, she finally burns the funeral clothes on her own, because Angela Bassett is, gone now too. And when she does, they play this like montage of Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther stuff, and just... even like a couple of them were like behind the scenes, like things that weren't in Black Panther, the movie and stuff. They were just like Chadwick Boseman, like smiling and pointing at the camera or something. Like they were just like really touching moments. You can see that they pulled whatever they could to really
include him,
to really make you get in your feels, right? And then what I thought the best part of the movie is that it cuts to Leticia Wright, who was just telling her mother, you made those ideas up just to comfort yourself, like in the beginning of the movie. And it's in this moment that, because obviously she's seeing those flashes too, and it's in this moment that we all feel it. We all feel Chadwick Boseman with us in the theater, in our hearts, and it was tough. It was a rough moment. Leticia Wright's performance in that moment was amazing, and she was just crying alone on the beach. And then the part, of course, that me and Lucas have been saying, I predicted a lot younger, but it makes sense that he's a lot older. We're introduced to what I'm going to call the recasting of T'Challa, because we're introduced to a young T'Challa, T'Challa 2, T'Challa the second, or T'Challa Jr., who is the son of Black Panther T'Challa and Nakia, and Shuri didn't know about him, and they decided to keep him hidden and all this and that. Seems like a cute kid, and seems like he's probably 8, somewhere around that age. Give or take a couple of years.
I would say 7 or 8.
So yeah, so it looks like moving forward, that he would probably be Black Panther at some point, but that still feels like a ways off. So I hope if we get Black Panther 3, I hope it's Shuri, man. I think Shuri's a badass Black Panther. That's what I came out of this thinking was good for her. I'm glad they did it. Everyone was criticizing it before they even knew that it was going to happen. And in fact, I think that's part of the reason we seen that marketing, Lucas, where they were advertising toys that had like Shuri in the Black Panther costume and Baku in the Black Panther costume.
Keep question.
Right. Yeah, because they didn't want people to think that it was Shuri because it was getting some backlash too. So it definitely kind of kept it hidden.
Well, that and it almost seemed as if, like, we definitely thought there were going to be like
multiple
of them.
Right,
yeah.
for sure.
So
yeah, right. And that's the thing is that you never know with these things. So, but all in all, overall, I would say that I enjoyed the movie. I think that it was the best offering Marvel's had this year when it's come to their cinematic feature films, at least. I do wish things were better. I wish we weren't in the state of affairs that we are in with Marvel and with the comic book movie world. But it seems as if things just are not going as well and just not hitting the same. That being said, like I said, I enjoyed this movie overall, and I thought it was the best thing Marvel had to offer this year. But, yeah, so I did also predict that it would be at 85%, and last time we checked, it was at 85%. So I don't think it's going anywhere either. I think it was like a 95 though audience. So that'll definitely change. There was only like 200 verified reviews on that, but yeah, I'll kick it over to you, Lucas. Give us your thoughts. Tell us what you thought, man.
Yeah, a lot. It was awesome. I guess I'll just start with right where you left off. I stand by what I said in the straight out the theater reaction. Whatever. I guess Spider-Man No Way Home was in Phase 4, right? Yep. There's been some good ones. I would say it's up there. I mean, easily one of the better ones of Phase 4. Definitely of this year. Man, I mean, the biggest thing I was thinking the whole time, for sure, was I should have watched Black Panther 1. I should have rewatched it before I went in, because now all I want to do is go home and watch it, and I probably will, because first of all, it's a good sequel. Like, it really, I mean, I don't know, it really did well, especially with everything it was up against. I was thinking a lot throughout the movie about some of the reactions that we were reading the other night, right? About it having like a Chadwick Boseman sized gap and all that. And it did. It absolutely did. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, it is what it is, right? But I think that they did such a great job. It was something you said, I think, in the reaction, that this movie could not have happened, right, without that gap. I mean, right. Both literally and within this, story. And I thought it was really well done. God, man, I wanted to say Angela Bassett's performance as well, but stand out all around, dude. What's Namor's name? Tenoch Huerta.
Yeah.
Man, he was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
God, who else? Okoye, yeah.
Okoye is awesome. She's amazing.
Yeah, just all the way around, man. And you could feel like such great performances too, because they're so nuanced with, I mean, they're dealing with their grief, but then you get those little bits of, joking with whatnot when they had like Okoye and Shuri outside of MIT and they were joking about her makeup or something like that, which, by the way, I caught they had a Fenty reference. Just thought it was nice since they had two new Rihanna songs for this. But anyway, they kept it light, but also you could see the pain and see what they were working through all the way around, dude. Even with like Everett Ross. I mean, because he was his friend too, and that just great. I don't know. I have a lot of specifics that we can get into, but you kind of hit a lot of the overall points that I was feeling. I guess one thing that I wanted to point out, though, that you said at the end of yours about the ending. I mean, because you jumped straight to the post-credit scene. The only post-credit scene in it, other than the Black Panther will return at the end, right, is Shuri meeting her nephew. And I thought that, like, the way that where they decided to close the movie, with the sun shining on Shuri's face, having gone through all of that, and she's finally found peace, and then the credits roll with the burning of the fabric. I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it, man. And I don't even think had you not had the post-credit scene, like, if this wasn't a part of a bigger story or whatever, if they were to have just ended the story there, brilliant. And I don't think it takes away that they do then go and add the post-credit scene with T'Challa's son, because it is part of a bigger thing. But just poignant, man, beautiful. I loved it.
Oh yeah, I did also forget to mention Julia.
Yep. Fontaine, Julie Ray-Dreyfus.
Yeah. Yep.
I was about to bring her up too.
Yeah, she was in there a lot. Seemed like there was a lot of, should we be sending the Thunderbolts out or not? Is it the Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Or just in general, should we bring in people? And,
should we have a team to combat these kind of situations?
And I was hearing a bunch of, like, rumors and stuff just earlier this week even about how they were talking about doing some in the future, having some kind of conflict with Wakanda and U.S. because of Fontaine, right? And I didn't think they were going to jump into it so quickly, but they were heavily. Maybe they're setting up for Thunderbolts, man. Honestly, because why else is she there, right? That's like Nick Fury saying, "I got a crew."
Right. Exactly. Right.
The Avengers, duh. Right.
Right.
So
exactly,
man, I'm really wondering now if that is, because we don't really know much about what the Thunderbolts is going to be about. But
could be kind of like the Suicide Squad, though.
In a way, well, and also the way that they left off Namor's story with him saying, "No, we got an alliance now. So once I make them see." Or once they're attacked basically by the U.S., once this happens to them, then they'll join our side. Then they'll come begging for our help.
Exactly.
And maybe that's about to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's, another country that we don't know of that does that to them as well.
With the U.S., like Latvia maybe?
Right, with Latvia, right, for sure.
I would absolutely. No Doom. But I don't think it needed him. I mean, it would have been awesome to see it, but I feel like it would have detracted from it.
For sure. Yeah, the cameos that we got were
perfect.
Small, insignificant, but also, like, cool.
Well, yeah, and
it didn't distract you too much from the story because you still had to introduce Namor and Riri Williams in this, but I think they did a fabulous job. I really do.
No, I agree. I mean, I know some of the reactions we read were about how it was too latent with big picture Marvel stuff. And honestly, like, if you really think about it, it was introduced the first mutant. I mean, it introduced a whole new world of vibranium. It did a lot, but it felt so grounded. And like Ryan Coogler and Joe Robert Cole, that it didn't feel forced in any way. Like Riri Williams' introduction felt totally necessary for the story. And then you think, oh, wow, she's about to have her own show, which I'm hyping.
Right, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
All of it. I mean, with Fontaine and Everett Ross, which, by the way, were married.
Yeah,
they confirmed that. That was interesting.
Definitely.
Very interesting. I wonder what role he's going to play then in Thunderbolts, if that, moving forward. But yeah,
for sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I do want to show off this. Where can we bring it up here? This Black Panther statue that I have ordered. This is what it looks like. It is a 1/4 scale statue. It is 26.5 inches tall and 11.5 inches wide. It is T'Challa. It is Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa specifically. Bust open some pictures here so you guys can check this out. This is what it looks like with the Chadwick Boseman head sculpture. This is just awesome. This is with the mask on. Get both heads. And he's on as Bossk or Basque. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is on like on a desk or something. I mean, look at that. That's gonna be awesome to sit somewhere in here.
He's on the. It is Bass, but it's the giant statue.
The one that's
the lab
at Black Panther.
Yeah,
for
Wakanda,
sure. Army at Wakanda. Yeah. There you go. Like I said, it's 26.5 inches tall. They get into some little more detailed pictures here. So you can kind of see the detailing. See that real like definition in the stitching and whatnot.
Wow.
And the hair too. That almost looks like real hair. The claws. Look at the claws.
Look at Wakanda's ass.
Yep. And yeah, it's very. Oh, I mean, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very well crafted. There's the shot of Bossk there. Very cool stuff. Oh man, even like the gold detail down in here.
Just the trimming.
Oh yeah, right.
Lining. Yep,
for sure. And there's a picture of the box. That bad boy's got to be like the size of fucking a computer or a TV or something. But yeah, that's it, man. That's the statue that I ordered, and it says that I will hopefully get it around February at some point. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and yeah, I'm happy for Black Panther. I still think this movie does pretty good at the box office, but I still think it's going to come in under projections like I predicted on the show. I'm still saying 150, 155 opening weekend. This movie may not be able to pull in $1 billion. Not very many movies have this year, so we'll see. But we enjoyed the movie overall, man. Lucas, any more closing thoughts?
I mean, I had a lot of thoughts. I don't know. I think I'm more than anything just kind of wanted to point a few things out that I really liked too, like the way that they used like ocean myths in it with Kulakan or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But then also they had that siren song almost that put them in a trance. I love that. That was awesome. I love the way that they they felt the Talokan people felt like water, even their language.
It felt like Avatar.
Yeah,
that's what I felt. Avatar too. Something was weird.
Way of water. Yeah. No, but even their like language felt like it flowed like water. Man, it was really cool. Are they still doing the Okoye show?
Yep.
Good.
Which makes more sense now because she's like kind of super powered.
Got that armor. And Annika too. That was the girl, right? Which also, another standout. She's small where she did. But, and also, they just had that subtle, it was nice. They had that, she's gay. I don't know if you caught that right at the end. Right at the very end.
No,
she was like,
thank
you, my love, or something like that, to that effect. But to one of the other what's the
Normalaje?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I didn't catch it at
Not
all.
that, whatever. I just noticed it. So also they mentioned Okoye's husband, which I'm blanking on his name from the first movie, but he's God, you know who he is. He's the one that betrayed him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What is his name? Anyway, they mentioned him at one point, and that kind of made me think earlier how I read that I think it was Ryan Coogler that said that he is still in Wakanda somewhere. I know obviously he couldn't make it because of scheduling conflicts or whatever, the actor, but
Oh yeah, the dude from Nope.
yes.
Yeah.
What's his name? It's I'm about to find it.
Yeah, the dude.
Yeah.
The dude from Get Out.
Yeah. Wakabi.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they mentioned him in the movie, or at least by, her traitorous husband, and then Ryan Coogler said in an interview that he's still in Wakanda, but he's banished, something like that. So that kind of makes me think, then, did she go and find him when she was banished there? When she got banished for those couple of years?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway, last couple of things, I guess. I loved the comparison here between you kind of talked about it earlier at the beginning, but between the Talakan people where they're at now and the Wakandan people in the first one. I mean, that was what they were dealing with. That's what Killmonger was for them, was a Namor basically. And I love that. I love that. I want to see more of the relationship between those two countries, because I think that because Wakanda is Wakanda, they're going to be able to help the Talakan people heal, and I'm excited to see Namor turn more of a hero, because he's such a good heart.
A badass character.
He is, and a killer too, but he's got a good heart. I mean, he's a good man, a great leader.
You wonder how his healing ability is, right? Because Shuri did cut off one of his wings.
And burned his back.
And burned the shit out of him, yeah.
I was thinking that too, yeah. So, literally, yeah. Anyway, there was one other big thing I wanted to talk about.
We did get a Hulk reference.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
Yeah, about how stronger, yeah. What was it? Yeah. The montage for Shuri's decision whether or not to kill him was probably my favorite part of the movie. The montage where it's going he's seeing his life almost in reverse, or maybe where she goes into the astral plane part,
right? Sees him as a kid plane, and shit. Yeah,
man. That 4 or 5 no. Right. But it's true, and that was, and it was so great. And oh man, when she comes out and she says, "Vengeance has consumed us. We cannot let it consume our people."
Yeah, right. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
Right.
It's so hopeful, so powerful. And then the last thing I want to say too is that the first 5 credits for the movie were black women, which is awesome, right? I mean, just awesome.
Yep.
And they deserve it. And I mean, those, because we didn't even mention Nakia as much, but her performance was just as powerful. All of it, all the way around.
Sure. Yeah, it really was, performance-wise, amazing. Like I said, I still think Angela Bassett really stole the show whenever she was on screen. But Leticia Wright was still amazing, I thought. Everyone was great. They really were. I love Winston Duke. Like I said, that was my fun favorite part of the movie was M'Baku.
Well, and also I love his growth too. The fact that he's now turned around, and he's like the last family that Shuri has, other than Nakia, right? He's almost like Alfred to her, when he's like, oh yeah, great characters and relationships, man. And I do remember the last thing actually I wanted to say is, and that's that, because this all ties into it, right? First of all, the fact that the way that they kind of worded and chose, it's a mysterious illness that's taking the king or whatever. Because it was, he kept it hidden in real life. I mean, Chadwick Boseman did. And so then it's so close to how things actually, the events or whatever around it.
Yeah, like how she said, my brother suffered in silence.
Right, and suddenly, I mean, in all of that, that's what I'm getting to, is that's probably, that really definitely helped them all, help bring that much emotion out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it also, I'm sure, because I'm an actor too, I know how cathartic that is for them, and you can feel that in that performance, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were friends with that dude.
I mean,
know?
brothers.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
he was, and you can just tell because the type of person he was. I mean, imagine being able to be on set with him, man. Like,
Right.
what a friendly.
That's what I was saying
good
when they did
king.
the montage of him. There
Yeah.
was the shot of like him just smiling and
Mm-hmm.
pointing. You know, you could tell. Like I said, it was an out of context shot that. Maybe it's in Black Panther, maybe, but it didn't. I almost thought I could see a camera, like our boom mic in the back or something.
No, it did. It did look like
Or
a
the
background.
lighting or something. There was something I could see that made me think like, oh, this is on set or something. And then he did, and he smiles, but the smile makes you start breaking down in tears so much that you can't even really comprehend like what's going on or where he is because it's happening so fast. And he's so charismatic, right? When you see him, it's just so hard to accept that he's no longer here, man. I mean,
This made it easier for sure.
he was just such a loving dude, such a good individual. He had a family, he had kids, and it's too bad, man. We can't say it enough. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Definitely felt him in the theater today, and I'm sure that he will be felt in every theater across the world as people go out to see and continue to see Wakanda Forever. That's for sure. And yeah, there's power in that stuff, I believe, and I believe Chadwick Boseman is happy and somewhere,
Yeah.
looking
on the
down on
ancestral
this,
plane,
smiling
looking at
at
us,
us
yeah.
all. That we're getting enjoyment so much enjoyment out of his life and career still, even years after his passing, and that we can see now that he'll have a legacy that will continue on through his own son,
Within the context of the story.
within
Yeah.
the context of the story and the character of T'Challa.
But also in real life too, because you didn't stick around for the through the credits, but when they go through and they're thanking people, one of the things or mentioned by name was the Chadwick Boseman Foundation for the arts or whatever, which that made I was already kind of starting to dry back up, and that just broke my heart again, man.
Right.
But it's good.
Right, yeah, and yeah, like I said, he'll be in every theater across the world. His presence will be felt as this movie continues to play. So, yeah, and we felt him there tonight, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of heartache, a lot of tears from beginning to end, and yeah, overall a solid movie, I would say. Definitely a good movie going experience. I did buy the popcorn bucket, and I did buy the cocktail. The cocktail was a little sweet. It was kind of based off the ancestral plane, so it has that kind of purple mixing into blue, magenta kind of coloring, so it looks beautiful and stuff, but a little sweet, not very strong. Can't remember what was in it. Popcorn bucket's awesome though. I got a bunk one, wouldn't light up, but looks really cool. Was $25 though. So yeah, but yeah, overall, like I said, really enjoyed the experience. Had a lot of fun. There was a lot of people in our theater, and everyone there was clearly a big fan of the franchise, the character, the culture, and all of that stuff. And yeah, so I was glad that that we went and seen it. I'm glad that Lucas was able to come out and check it out with me this time. And I'm glad that we were able to do this spoiler discussion too. So yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. So we appreciate you joining us and talking about BP2.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Get out and see it.
Yeah, go
Again
out.
and again. I definitely am going to.
Yeah, and make sure you go check out the giveaway for the Xbox Series S. It only takes a super chat for you to get into the raffle to win that Xbox. And who doesn't want to win a GD Xbox, man? Everyone wants a GD Xbox.
Even God.
So go out there and put in a super chat so you can enter into the raffle to win that Xbox. And yeah, make sure you also stick around for tomorrow's normal Screen Talk Live YouTube show with me and your co-host Shane Wallace. at 5 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, guys, other than that, like I said, we appreciate you joining us here. And yeah, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and of course, always the thumbs up. We will see you guys on the other side. And of course, and as always,
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.